from Augusta. You're watching News 12 live at 5.
Well, Toys for Tots is known for helping families make sure every child has a toy at Christmas. This year, the nonprofit says the need is higher than ever. But first, a 4-year-old who shot himself at his Richmond County home earlier this month has died. The coroner tells us Zyke Ryans died Saturday afternoon at the hospital. Investigators say the gun was unsecured when he grabbed it at his house on Murphy Street. 35-year-old Brittany Ryans was previously arrested and charged with cruelty to children in the second degree. She's now charged with second-degree murder. Investigators are still searching for Ladarian Ryans, who is also wanted for second-degree murder. Well, today, memorial events began to honor the life of former First Lady Rosalind Carter. She passed away in her family home in Plains, Georgia, a little more than a week ago. It started with a wreath-laying ceremony at Georgia Southwestern State University, where Mrs. Carter went to college. This afternoon, her body is laying in repose at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library. Our State House reporter Abby Casoris joins us live at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library.
While today is about acknowledging a great loss, it's also about celebrating a life well lived. We've been talking to people lining the streets today, getting their chance to pay their respects, and they use a lot of words to describe Rosalind Carter, including remarkable, strong, and a visionary. Now, getting to talk with those people, they dropped what they were doing just to be here, to personally deliver a thanks.
Thought I can't let this day go by without taking a walk over here and just paying my respects.
Maureen Kelly, one of the first in line to pay her respects.
And just knowing she's at peace too. You know, I think that's the biggest thing for her and her family.
This is the Carter family motorcade, traveling throughout the state, through Americus in South Georgia up to Georgia Southwestern State University, where Rosalind went to college.
It's a loss. It's a major loss for our country and for our people.
Joy Vanderson says she's always admired Rosalind. She's praying for President Carter.
I'm certain it's very difficult for him and will be every moment, because I think they were together nearly every moment.
The Jimmy Carter Library staff say they're receiving notes, letters, and encouragement from across the world.
I think today is a celebration of life, and this was a life well led. And I'm here to celebrate a wonderful woman.
Now, this is the first day of a 3-day ceremony. That motorcade will travel to Emory University tomorrow as well. There's going to be some big names there, including President Joe Biden. He'll be there, and so will we. Live tonight in Atlanta, I'm Abby Casoris.
All right, thank you for that live update, Abby. We have seen a pretty chilly afternoon, not quite as cold as yesterday. Yesterday's high temps were only in the mid-40s. We at least got into the 50s today, but still well below average for this time of year. 58 officially at Bushfield, 57 at Daniel Field, and both airports waking up this morning at 44 degrees. Here's a current look at our radar network. We have dry scans here across the region. No rain in our forecast the rest of tonight, and actually not much rain in our forecast until we get to Friday later this week. High pressure is going to be building in. That's going to bring us another big cool down for us over the next couple of days as that moves in from the west. Current temperatures, if you're heading out soon, we're currently at Double Nichols here in Augusta, 55 at Bushfield, 54 at Evans, 53 up at the lake, and then Saluda, you're currently at 56 degrees. If you are heading out tonight, grab the jacket. It is going to be a chilly one for us. We're going to fall into the 40s just after sunset, and then already hitting the 30s before midnight. Overnight tonight, we should stay above freezing. It is going to be cold, though. We'll most likely reach at least the mid and upper 30s across the region. As we head later into the week, that's where we'll really start to drop our temperatures Wednesday and Thursday. Afternoon high temps tomorrow, reaching the 50s again, so still below average, but not too much different than today. Have a look at some rain in that full forecast in just a bit. Let's get a quick update on your First Alert traffic.
And now, First Alert traffic.
All right, here's a current look at exit 190 Lewiston Road out towards Grovetown. You can see the headlights backing up towards the interstate right there, so a little slow moving, but traffic's actually able to turn to the right pretty easily now, so that is flowing a little bit better out there. Not too much happening there on Lewiston Road near the overpass. Going out to I-20 just outside of our building here in Riverwatch Parkway. Riverwatch is pretty busy, but I-20 moving okay for these eastbound and westbound lanes. Let's take a look at that sunset, a beautiful view. We are starting to bring in some high-level clouds, but mostly clear skies over the next couple of days. We'll have that full forecast in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Riley. It's no secret many families in our area are struggling to make ends meet. That means reaching out to nonprofits for help. Toys for Tots says it's seeing the demand for assistance firsthand. As Taylor Martin found, that need is rising at an alarming rate.
This year, the need for toys at Toys for Tots is much greater, and with Giving Tuesday tomorrow, these boxes at their warehouse are waiting to be filled with your donations. This year, 1,299 families applied for toys. Since 2020, the number of applications has nearly tripled. In 2021, 784 families applied, and last year, 957 families applied. Augusta coordinator Ann Wood says this time last year, their warehouse was nowhere near as empty as it is today. With only 3 weeks left until the donation deadline, it's crunch time, and she's hanging on to faith that the community will come together to fill these empty boxes with toys.
Donations are coming in very slow. We need more donations. Even this year, we need 3 to 5. And normally there's an overflow of an abundance of that.
All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll be breaking down where and how you can donate. Reporting in Augusta, Taylor Martin, on your side.
Thanks, Taylor. We now know the name of a 6-year-old Orangeburg, South Carolina boy who died after a hunting accident Friday morning. The coroner says 6-year-old Avery Davis died after being shot in the head during a hunting accident. Avery's father confirmed his death on Saturday. Details surrounding the shooting are still unknown. Avery's father posted on Facebook saying that Avery was the toughest fisherman, outdoorsman, and athlete that he's ever known. He asked for the community's continued prayers at this time. Well, SLED is in the middle of an investigation involving the Aiken County Sheriff's Office and a suspect who was shot. It happened in Sally yesterday morning. Now, deputies say that they were called to the Depot Avenue Northeast at around 10 a.m. to investigate an armed suspect after a caller said he came to her home and then left. Deputies found 30-year-old Cody Talley and say that he refused to put down a shotgun and walked away. They say Talley put it down later, but then placed a hand behind his back and continued to refuse commands. After getting hit with a beanbag round, investigators say the suspect pointed a handgun at them and fired. That's when deputies fired back. Talley was listed as stable and no one else was injured. Republican candidate Nikki Haley campaigned. Well, it's a holiday staple. If you're a fan of fruitcake, stick around. We're taking you inside Southern Fruitcake Company, where they're cranking out thousands to send around the U.S. Riley?
Well, it is going to be feeling like wintertime over the next couple of days, bringing back the 20s in that 7-day forecast. We'll have a look at it just after the break.
As the colder winter months start to set in, so does the increased need for homeless resources and round-the-clock shelters. All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock. We're checking in with organizers on where they feel the progress has been made with the Homeless Task Force plan that was approved 2 years ago by Augusta leaders.
Time and temp.
All right, welcome back as we check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. Riley, we were just talking here. I didn't get to finish raking up my front yard of all the pine straw. Can I do that this week is the biggest question.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're looking at dry weather through at least Thursday. I would say by Friday into the weekend, that's when unfortunately do bring back some rain chances across the area. But great weather for being outside. Today we did dry out a good bit. A look at our Grovetown camera looking towards the west, towards sunset. You can see we have a few high-level clouds filtering in. Could make for a pretty colorful sunset here over the next 20-30 minutes or so. We're in the mid-50s. We only saw high temps in the upper 50s just a couple of hours ago, so it was a day below average as far as high temperatures go, and we're actually going to see even cooler temperatures over the next couple of days. Here's our current temps across the area: 54 in Aiken, 52 in Thompson, 51 up there in Wilkes County in Washington, 54 in Millen. You're currently at 56 in Sylvania. Heading out this evening, definitely bundle up. Temperatures are going to drop quick into the 40s over the next couple of hours, and then we will fall to the 30s as we head into late tonight and by daybreak tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I would imagine most spots are above freezing, but will be close, most likely mid-30s for most locations. There could be a couple of spots that do briefly hit that freezing mark at 32, but it is going to be a cold start, even if it's not actually 32. With a good steady northwest wind, that wind chill definitely will make it feel just a little bit colder. Throughout the day Tuesday, we're going to stay with temps in the 50s for highs and do it again on Wednesday. Only difference is Wednesday morning, take a look at that. Early in the morning, we're going to wake up in the mid-20s, so a hard freeze on the way. Make sure you are protecting your pets and plants over the next couple of nights. So for tonight, us here at Augusta, I believe we stay just a degree or two above freezing. But by Wednesday, Thursday morning, that's when we're really going to bottom out these temperatures. So once again, just make sure your pets have a way to stay warm. Beautiful look down the Savannah River. A live look from our Thurman Dam cam. You can see gorgeous colors there in the sky. And if you are heading up to the lake the next couple of days, it is going to be chilly there. High temps will actually be cooler than us here in Augusta. 53 Tuesday, 52 on Wednesday. And tomorrow we're actually bringing in another cold front that's going to just kick up our winds a little bit. So it is going to be a little bit breezy Tuesday. That northwest wind will be about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Here's the way it's looking. So a weak front actually did pass through today. So that is going to keep our winds elevated tonight. And that's going to bring us that wind chill throughout Tuesday morning. Tuesday afternoon, that northwest wind steady between 10 to 15. Once that front pushes away, we'll bring in high pressure through the middle of the week. And winds do look much lighter around that time frame. Here's a look at where that high pressure is right now. So centered over Texas, that's what's just going to be building in from the west. And then you can see that second cold front that will be moving in from the Midwest. So that is going to keep our temperatures in the 50s all the way through Wednesday afternoon. But we will start to see those highs return to the 60s Thursday, Friday. But then into the weekend, that's when we're expecting a much different upper level pattern. So that's going to bring us just a steady stream of upper level winds out of the southwest, bringing us warmer temps, but also the chance for rain. So we actually have a decent opportunity for rainfall Friday, Saturday, and if we were going to extend this out, including those rain chances into Sunday and Monday early next week. So this is unfortunately the way it's shaping up for our weekend right now. It is going to be warmer as far as temperatures go, but we do have very high rain chances both Saturday and Sunday. So a series of fronts and areas of low pressure we'll be moving through and keeping our rain chances pretty high, but that is still 5 days out. So make sure you are keeping it here for those updates throughout the week. But right now, calling for rain this weekend. So enjoy the dry weather over the next couple of days.
All right, thanks, Riley. One North Carolina factory is proof that holiday fruitcakes are in high demand. Brian Stevenson is taking you inside Southern Supreme Fruitcake Company, where they've been cranking out cakes for close to 40 years.
On a country road in the middle of nowhere is a sight you have to see to believe. 5 commercial kitchens cranking out fruitcake and every other sweet Christmas confection you can imagine.
This is Southern Supreme Fruitcake Company. It's been here since 1984.
That's nearly 40 years of selling fruitcake. But Wrdw Scott was making fruitcake long before it became a business. A hairdresser by trade, she would make it every year at the holidays for her customers.
They kept telling her that she needed to just quit fixing hair and start trying to sell this fruitcake.
So the beautician became a baker, and the rest, as they say, is history. The first year she sold 700 or 800 pounds of fruitcake. Today,
this year we'll probably make somewhere around 210 to 220,000 pounds of fruitcake.
That's a lot of fruitcake. Wrdw's entire family left their jobs to help run the business. Her husband Hoyt was a big part too until he passed. This time of year, they fire up the kitchens at 4:30 a.m. to start mixing all of the ingredients to make that famous fruitcake recipe. One batch weighs 300 pounds. Fruits, nuts, and more nuts are all blended together before heading to the oven.
Then when the cake is completely done, then we just dump it all out into what we call a weighing pan.
The cake is weighed depending on the size cake they're making that day, and then put into this contraption.
You don't just go to the machinery store and buy a fruitcake press.
Randy has a mechanical background. He designed this press to produce perfectly shaped fruitcakes every time. Once pressed, they're glazed and topped off with fruit. But the fruitcake is just one of the things they're cooking up here. They have a cheese kitchen that stamps out these cheese florets. They have a brittle kitchen, a nut kitchen, where they cook nuts with sweet spices like cinnamon and sugar. They have a cookie kitchen, and maybe the second most popular, a chocolate kitchen, with this little waterfall of chocolate flowing down.
Over the years, it's just kind of evolved and turned into what it is now. My mother always is very adamant about trying to have something new every year.
They ship these goodies across the United States and even to countries around the world. They also sell from their huge showroom.
We want you to feel at home when you come here. We're going to welcome you. We're going to give you a sample of fruitcake, a cup of coffee, and we want you to feel at home. Everybody here is family.
And to get more information on Southern Supreme Fruitcake Company, you can head to southernsupreme.com. Well, a lawsuit accuses a major insurance company of using a computer algorithm to quickly deny claims without proper medical review. Next, permission to pay.
First alert.
A new lawsuit claims a major insurance company used a computer program to deny some claims in less time than it took me to say this sentence. The insurance industry has long claimed that technology and using electronic processing are the solutions to high medical cost and slow claims processing. But our national investigative team found accusations that tech isn't always working to patients' benefit. Here's Lee Zurich with permission to pay.
This is personal, this is really hard.
A very personal story of building a family turned into what Amanda Wrdw says started to feel like a cruel game where insurance denials felt anything but personal.
I was getting turned on this very convoluted pinball machine of a path that didn't end up getting anywhere.
In January of 2020, Amanda and her husband, like many couples, decided they needed to turn to medical professionals to conceive a second child. It would be expensive, but they found a plan.
We saw that this policy covered infertility treatments, and we wanted to take advantage of that.
But quickly, they started facing problems using the coverage.
We started doing the treatments, and then we started noticing that we were getting denied. The reasons were very vaguely worded. It was like, this is not in accordance to our policy, or something like that.
Then the couple saw an article by ProPublica, an article that claims Cigna-employed doctors were signing off on rejections without even reading the files, denying some claims at an average rate of 1 every 1.2 seconds.
My husband just had like a light bulb aha moment, like must be what's happening to us.
In California, attorneys who work with clients on consumer issues also saw the same story and investigated further. Now they're representing a client suing Cigna and plan to pick up more through class action. The lawsuit accuses Cigna of using a computer algorithm to systematically deny claims in bulk without proper review by a doctor, something the attorneys on this case say is illegal under state law and potentially against federal insurance regulations.
They're supposed to use doctors to open up the patient files and examine the claim, examine the patient's history, complications, etc., to then use their expertise to determine whether that claim is medically necessary, whether that procedure was medically necessary. And Cigna is not always doing that.
Instead, attorneys explained to us there's a system called Procedure to Diagnosis, PXDX. It's a computer program that matches patient procedures with a diagnosis code. If the two don't match what the policy considers medically necessary, the computer denies the claim. And attorneys claim a doctor just rubber stamps that denial without a real review. In some cases, people weren't reimbursed. In others, they may not have gotten necessary treatment. In 2 months, 300,000 claims denied. Cigna wouldn't talk to us for this story, but published a rebuttal to criticisms online, stating that its PXDX program was only used in a small group of inexpensive procedures, that 94% of claims in that system were approved, and that it has successfully helped us accelerate payments to physicians for tests and treatments.
At the end of the day, the people that this is affecting are humans. These are human problems that I'm going through. Having an infertility diagnosis is a human problem that I have to deal with every day. And this is something that is not being taken on with a human approach.
Lee Zurich on your side.
Well, we are going to be drying out over the next several days. If you need to rake up those leaves that continue to fall across the region, temperatures will be chilly, though. Having a look at the 7-day forecast just after the break.
This month is Yes Proven Toyota.
Welcome back, folks. Here's a live view of our dam cam looking towards sunset. You can see beautiful colors in the sky here. We're bringing in some high-level clouds, so sunset's able to reflect off those and provide us some beautiful colors out there tonight. Temperatures on the cool side. We're still in the mid-50s. Now that sun's going away, we'll quickly fall into the 40s within the next hour or so. And heading later into the week, we are expecting a hard freeze to happen Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. We do have a freeze watch in effect for Allendale, Screven, and Jenkins County in anticipation of those freezing temps. They have yet to see a hard freeze yet this year, so their growing season still continues. The rest of us, our growing season has ended, and we just have cold temps in our forecast over the next several days. We're going to hang on to below average temps at least through Thursday, and then with the rain and warm up, heads our way this weekend.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break as News 12 Live at 5 continues.
Introducing the First Alert Radar Network.
With up to 10